Hey guys, Joe from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, January 25th, 2013. Today, it is freezing out. It has been cold all week, but right now it is 12 degrees outside. 12 degrees. And we're supposed to get a couple of inches of snow tonight. So, I guess you want to get started with the eBay video and all the news I've got for you. So let's do that. Alright, first we're going to start with a recap of last week's video. You'll remember I discussed 4 sellers who jerked me over, and I asked you the opinion of you guys whether I should neg them or not. I've read all your comments, and 97% of you said I should neg them. To rehash the 4 people, because I have one update on one guy. The first 2 people, in my opinion, definitely deserve to be negged. They took my money, they never sent the item, they refused to give me a refund, and they didn't answer eBay's case. So eBay had to step in and give me a refund. In my opinion, those 2 sellers are guilty of fraud and should be negged. The third seller was the guy who sent me the items as described, but then contacted me by phone and tried to juice me for extra shipping money. I have not heard from him again. I think he's gone back into the closet, or wherever he was. He has not left me positive feedback, nor do I think he ever will. However, to be fair, I don't think he deserves to be negged at this point because he sent me the items as described in a timely manner. Yeah, he did try and juice me, but if he doesn't hit me up again for any more money, I'm just going to let it go. But I want to talk to you about person number 4, the person with the Matchbox cars. What happened, if you recall, was I bid on 3 Matchbox cars in 3 different auctions from a seller who clearly stated they would combine the shipping if you buy more than 1 Matchbox car. So after I won the 3 items, the instructions were to wait for an invoice with the combined shipping. So I waited 3 days. I wasn't going to wait a 4th day. So I wrote to him and I said, send me an invoice. Nothing. So I had to wind up paying full price. Full shipping on the 3 cars. So maybe 3 more days goes by and nothing from this cat. So I wrote to him, I said, look, you ignored my letter. Are you even going to send these Matchbox cars because you haven't uploaded any tracking? So a couple more days go by. This is after I made the last video. And he finally writes to me and he says, or he claims that he never got the letter that I sent him. And I sent it through eBay Communications. He claims he never got it. I don't see how that could be, but let's just say that is the case. My next question is, well, when the item's sold, how come you didn't combine the shipping and send me an invoice? So what he said is, well, he says that he hurt his back and he has not yet sent anything out, but he would give me a partial refund for the shipping. So I said, okay, that's fair. I'll wait a few more days. So a day after that, he does give me a partial shipping refund, which is great. No complaints. Okay? Today, the Matchbox cars arrive. I happen to have them right here. I want you to see these. These are neat. Oh, Jesus. This could be on the bloopers show. Wait a minute. Let's do it this way. These are 3 cool London taxis. Okay? All in mint condition. I'm happy with them. Even the one that just fell onto my desk. You know, excellent condition. Alright? No complaints. Along with the London taxis came a little note. So guys, I get these Matchbox cars. Beautiful condition, no complaints. And I get this note with them. Every now and then I'll get one of these notes. I call it a reminder note. And normally the way it's worded is somebody will say like, thank you for buying my item. I have left you positive feedback. Would you please remember to leave mine? And if you have any problems, contact me, okay? Which is great. I have no problem with that. But I want to read this to you, word for word, and I'm going to hold it up to the camera so you know that I'm not making this up. Thanks for your order. As acknowledgement of receiving your order and completion of this transaction, please leave feedback, and I will respond with feedback right away. Unfortunately, due to some unfair feedback, I will no longer leave feedback first. Now, guys, personally, this kind of thing doesn't set well with me. I have no problem with the seller asking a buyer to leave feedback, because I do it too. What I do is, if a person does a buy it now on my item and pays right away, I will leave them positive feedback immediately. Check my eBay Motors account, Hubcap Joe's, if you dispute me. Okay? I leave it right away. Occasionally, if the guy doesn't pay right away or gives me some kind of lip, maybe I'll wait a day or two. I agree with that. But anyway, there's a lot of people that don't leave me feedback even though I leave it for them. So once a month, I'll send out a reminder little letter to people saying like, thank you for buying my item. I hope you liked it. I left you positive feedback, and I would appreciate it if you would leave some for me, as it's very important to me. I would never, ever ask a buyer to leave me positive feedback if I hadn't done it for them first. I know there's a few sellers out there that don't agree with me. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school or something. But anyway, to bring this little matter to a close, I like the cause. I'm not going to neg the guy, but there's no way he's getting positive feedback first, because I find that, I don't want to say deceptive, it just doesn't set well with me. Okay? So, let's move on to some new topics now for this week. Several items have been in the news regarding eBay, and I'd like to address some of them now. For the first one, I've actually got somebody to help me, and I'm going to introduce you to her right now. A good friend of mine, her name is Cindy Sawley, and I'd like to tell you a little about Cindy and who she is and what she does. I met Cindy Sawley at eBay On Location in Philadelphia, and I met her through my really good friend Scott Henshaw. Okay? Cindy is like us. She's a top-rated seller, sells on eBay, been doing so for years. She has her own website, cindysawley.com. I am going to link to it below because I want to show you something that she did. As you may or may not know, the post office has dramatically increased its rates for international shipping. Okay? Remember, this is for international only. Alright? Cindy went out of her way to make a little chart, which I'm going to show you right here on my laptop. But I'm going to put the link below so you don't have to really catch it. Okay, that's Cindy Sawley's work. She took a lot of time to make this little chart, and it basically tells you the increase. For instance, let me tell you something I would be selling. You've seen these bubble mailers that I sell my sports cards in. A 3-ounce one of these, up till now, was $3.30 to Canada. It is going to more than double to $6.91, which is freaking ridiculous. Okay? It is way too much money. Alright? I'd like to know from you guys, do you sell internationally? If so, what countries and what percentage of your sales go internationally? Like Cindy, for instance, sells a lot of stuff internationally. I do not. I guess it's the nature of the game. Now, I should also tell you that I know Cindy Sawley from various Facebook groups that I'm involved with, where we commiserate and we help each other out, and, you know, we share pointers and stuff. It's a real friendly group of people. Sellers mainly, and some buyers too. And I'd like to say that I myself stopped selling internationally approximately in the year 2004. Several reasons for that. Of course, back then I didn't take PayPal, and international people only want to pay with PayPal. But international people also have a much higher scam rate. Alright? Even though I stopped selling internationally in 2004, I kept one country on, Canada. Because, quite frankly, I was selling a lot to Canada. But I had something so terrible happen to me with a Canadian bidder. And I've mentioned it to you before, offhandedly, but I've never actually connected the dots. So I'm going to connect them for you right now, because I want your opinion on this. And I want you to put yourself in my position. Remember when eBay adopted the proposal that sellers could not neg deadbeat bidders? I believe that was about 4 years ago. Well, that's when this happened. I had listed a set of Volvo hubcaps, and a Canadian bidder did a buy it now. Shortly after that, the same exact Canadian bidder, Makimoto 514, bids on some Volvo emblems that I had. That's 2 auctions this guy bids on. Does a buy it now. He wins both. Some time goes by, he doesn't pay me. I send him a reminder notice, and he writes to me, "I'm not paying you because you don't take PayPal." Now mind you, he bid on not 1 but 2 of my items and didn't read, because back then I didn't take PayPal and it clearly said no PayPal. Alright, I accept that. Now eBay, as you know, instructs all of us to open unpaid item cases for deadbeat bidders like this. So that's exactly what I did. I opened the case against the guy. He never responded. 4 more days went by and he got 2 unpaid item strikes. I was not able to neg him. Do you know what happened next? The eBay bidder, let me get a drink if you don't mind. eBay bidder Makimoto 514 immediately gets both of his unpaid item strikes removed. As soon as he does that, he leaves me 2 negative feedbacks in a row. I swear to God this happened. So, I called up eBay. And you know what they said to me? Too bad. Now keep in mind, this is old eBay. This isn't the eBay of today, because the eBay of today would never let this happen. A person who doesn't pay for your item is not allowed to leave feedback, and if they do, you can get it removed with no problem. But I was so ripping mad that was the last straw. I blocked all bidders from out of the United States. You would think that the story ends there, right? Nope. To show the stupidity of Makimoto 514, in the year 2012, I had a similar set of Volvo hubcaps listed. Do you know he sent me a question to the contact seller eBay thingy? How much is shipping to Canada? After all that, now I don't know if he forgot that I was the guy he dicked over, or if he thought I was going to forget him. But I didn't. So guys, personally, I feel that I could probably do pretty well selling in Canada. However, in the United States I offer free shipping. So I'm not so sure how I could revise my auctions. I'm going to have to bring this up to the group. How I could revise my auctions to accept Canadian bidders. But then the next problem is, like Cindy was saying, the fees are going up so high through the Postal Service to ship to Canada that there's very little money to be made. Ouch! So this is going to be an ongoing situation we're going to have to address. I am still thinking about opening up my bidders, blooper, I am still thinking about opening my auctions up to Canada, because there is money to be made there, but at least I know I'll get paid for the item this time. I take PayPal now. So in closing, reactions, if any, to the big international rate increase of the post office. Do you guys ship internationally? And what countries do you service, if so? Okay. Before we move on, a lot of work goes into making my videos, whether you realize it or not. I start working on next week's video the very same day I put this week's video out. So what I do is I start on Friday night. I go home from work, I read your comments, take notes, PM some of you, you know, go back and forth. I Skype some of you, I talk to you on the phone. And speaking of that, anybody wants to Skype me, you're more than welcome. PM me for details and we'll hook something up. You want to talk to me on the phone, that's cool too. I'm also thinking about going back on Blog TV and doing an interactive session with you guys. I want to know if any of you guys are interested in doing that with me. It would only be occasionally, and it would probably be on a Friday. The way I would do it is we would decide ahead of time on a particular Friday and a particular hour, like maybe 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, you know, whatever. And when I put Friday's video out, I would put a link right in the description box to my Crazy New York Driver YouTube Blog TV channel, and you could come in at the appointed time and we could chat. Well, my question to you about that is, are any of you interested at all? Please don't say you are if you're not, because I don't want to go through all the trouble of setting it up if you're not going to come. And if you do, what hour works best for you? That's something important I need to know. Now, as I started to say, a lot of work goes into making these videos, and I always prepare a lengthy outline of what I wanted to discuss. And I have somewhere around here another sheet of paper I was planning on discussing. However, that is going to have to wait for another week or two, because I had somebody that was going to come in and chat with me live on the air, but the 10-degree weather has killed his battery, his car is dead, he's not going anywhere. Consequently, I had to ad-lib the second part of this video. So I started to think, what could I talk about to interest the good people? A lot of you people have expressed interest in my license plate collection. I sure hope you're interested in it, because you're about to get to see some of them right now. I brought with me what I think are some of my more interesting New York plates, and I'm going to just go through them really quickly with you and take comments, and that's that. This is a nice Court of Claims plate from 1976. I specialize in collectible special plates, not just passenger car plates. Here's one from '77, New York Assembly. Frank Sinatra's plate from his second car from 1968, I think it was. His original plate was FAS, Francis Albert Sinatra. Here's something that a lot of people would like to get. And by the way, all my plates are FS or FT, for sale or for trade. If you see anything you're really interested in, let me know. This is a matching set of historic plates from the 1960s. New York has what they call the year of issue law. If you own a car, let's say from the 1960s, you could legally put these old school plates on your car. All you have to do is take them to motor vehicle, transfer the registration from your current plates to these. People, these are worth coin. A matching set of historic plates from the 60s. Offer. You want to guess what that is, NYP? It's New York Press, a reporter. That's from 1986. Here's an unusual plate. You're gonna look at this one. Velez. the Les. Last used in the year 2008. Gee, I wonder what that stands for. These are low number plates that we used in the early 60s. Number 414, number 252. Here's a historic plate. You know something? I didn't even notice this. Look at this. It's the same exact number as the old school. There's the 60s version, there's the 70s version. Some more low-numbered plates in the 60s. This is unusual. It's a current issue plate from a tow truck. I just threw it in the mix so you can see it. This is a match set of plates that were last used in 1973 when they changed over to the orange. So if you had a regular passenger car in the 60s or up to the early 70s, you would have had these. I'm sure one of you guys would love to buy these from me. Offer. 1979, a plate from a congressman. A vanity plate, Dr. Finest. Another senator's plate from 88 to 89. The vanity plate, Gems. And keep in mind, this is a flat. Means the letters are not raised. Rain Doctor. Pray for You. 1967, another low number issue plate. A taxi plate, flat version. You may or may not know that proportioned is from a semi-truck. This I just threw in the pile. It's a sample plate from Florida. It happened to be laying there, so I threw it in. And that's all I'm going to bore you with today on the plates. Okay guys, really quick recap on today's video. We rehashed last week. We talked about those 4 bidders who kind of jerked me around. We talked about Cindy Sawley's site and how she made a nice little chart of the USPS rates that are going way up. If you need the exact fees and changes, I'm putting a link to her site below. You can check it out. We also talked about my wonderful license plate collection. If you guys want to see any more plates or any states in particular, tell me about it. If you want to Skype me, phone me, hang out with me in Blog TV, talk to me below. Remember, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Your ideas that you communicate with me are what we're going to talk about next week. Okay, so do comment below, or if you'd rather PM me, that works too. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.